friendship between nations, like friendship between people, is built on trust, on a common worldview, on years of dialogue, on tradition and the language of cooperation. Old friends understand each other. Today our friendship reaches new heights. Foreign Secretary Trust and I just signed a memorandum of understanding on strategic cooperation between our countries. This is not only an agreement between close friends, but between two technological superpowers, as you said. And this MOU will lead to a free trade agreement between the United Kingdom and Israel. It will strengthen economic, security, technological and cultural ties between us. It will open new shared horizons in AI and in quantum and cyber technology. This agreement will translate into new British and Israeli businesses, more high-quality jobs, and more security cooperation between our air, naval, and intelligence forces. This agreement is not just a win-win, it is also a must-must. In today's world, we must contend not only with the threats posed by COVID-19 and climate change, but also with the threat posed by international terrorism led by Iran. We met today to discuss ways to tackle this threat together. The next round of talks with Iran on the renewal of the nuclear agreement begin today in Vienna. The Iranians are coming to these talks for only one reason: to get sanctions lifted. They need money for Hezbollah, for the Revolutionary Guards, for the global terrorist network, and for the continued race towards a nuclear weapon. They will play for time, earn billions from the removal of sanctions, continue to deceive the world, and covertly advance their nuclear program. This is what they have done in the past, and this is what they will do this time as well. The intelligence is clear, it leaves no doubt. A nuclear Iran will thrust the entire Middle East into a nuclear arms race. We will find ourselves in a new Cold War, but this time the bomb will be in the hands of religious fanatics who are engaged in terrorism as a way of life. The world must prevent this, and it can prevent this. Tighter sanctions, tighter supervision, conduct any talks from a position of strength. I know that we are committed to the same goal. Iran will never be allowed to get a nuclear weapon. I know that we can count on you and on the Prime Minister to stand with us. We saw another example of your support and friendship just last week when the British government announced it would proscribe the entirety of Hamas as a terrorist organization. I thank you for this decision. Foreign Secretary, I know that a long list of Hamas terrorist atrocities sat in front of you when this decision was made, but I want to add one more. They shot at my children. They fired missiles at my home just last May. There is no nice way to fight terrorism, but there is a right way, and it is to cooperate, to work together to make sure we foil not only the flight of terrorist missiles, but also the flow of terrorist money. Foreign Secretary, I do not want to end such a positive meeting on a negative note. And so let me say that in the long history of our two ancient nations, many tried to bring us down, and here we are. Two strong and prosperous peoples with a deep sense of history, but also ready and willing to innovate and move forward. Today we begin a new chapter in the relationship between our governments and our peoples. Thank you for your friendship. Our nations, thanks you for that friendship, and our nations, after sharing this, will continue to share for years and years to come. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Foreign Office. It's fantastic to welcome Yair Lipid here this morning, the Israeli Foreign Minister, for our first face-to-face meeting, although we've had a number of phone calls. I'd like to wish Yair and all Jewish people in the United Kingdom, Israel and around the world a happy Hanukkah. Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights, is taking place just as the UK-Israel relationship is also burning brightly. And what we want to do today is usher in a bold new era of British-Israel relations. We are freedom-loving democracies, we're close friends, and we're also very close allies. Yair and I have just signed a new Memorandum of Understanding, which is going to deepen our partnership over the next decade in areas like cyber, technology, trade, and defence, to help build a much closer economic relationship, a much closer security relationship, and ultimately to deliver wider stability around both the Middle East and the world. On trade, we're driving forward towards a bespoke UK-Israel free trade agreement, which will help us seize new opportunities and build on our very strong partnership, which is already worth £5 billion a year. On technology, we want to make sure that technology standards are shaped by the free world. The UK and Israel are both tech superpowers. We want to work together more closely in areas like quantum, AI, 5G and 6G. And Israel is officially becoming a Tier 1 cyber partner of the United Kingdom. We're pushing new frontiers of innovation through the Britain-Israeli partnership from agri-tech to life sciences. And we also stand together in condemning the appalling attacks on Israel and its representatives from last week's shooting in Jerusalem, as well as the unacceptable hounding of our ambassador to the UK. There is no place for anti-Semitism anywhere in the world, and that is why the United Kingdom government has moved to prescribe Hamas in its entirety. We will also work flat out to prevent the Iranian regime from gaining nuclear weapons. 1 year on from the Abraham Accords, the UK is continuing to play its part in supporting Israel as it works more closely with partners in the region. Israel and the UK's partnership is rooted in a belief in freedom and democracy and the agency of every person. And together, we will ensure that freedom and democracy prevail across the world. Thank you.